Okay, so from yesterday's homework, we saw a lot of improper fractions, but sometimes it could be given the numbers can be given to us as mixed numbers. So we need to know how to convert it to improper fraction and vice versa. So for this one, 4 and 1/6, it's like you have 4 full pizza and then 1/6 slice. So if altogether, how many slices do you have? So you would multiply and then add. I think some of you guys learned this before, so this is like a refresher. So 4 times 6 gives you 24, and then add the 1, so you have 25 over 6. Okay, remember you don't change the denominator, you keep it as 6. Okay, vice versa, if you want to change from an improper fraction to a mixed number, you do have to do long division. Now, some of your calculators, the fancy calculators, will do it for you. Okay. Do you have to show this? No. All right. But should you learn it? Yes. Okay. So how do I change from here to here? You have to do long division. You did long division since grade 5. So 5 goes into 36 7 times. So 5 times 7, 35, and you have a remainder of 1. So then this is your whole, the whole number. Right? This is your top number or numerator, and then your denominator stays the same. Okay? In both cases, notice your denominator stays the same. Okay? So who can give me the answer for this one? Who wants to try this one? Change this to an improper fraction. Derek? Okay, what did you do?
3 times 8 plus 5.
Yep. And so you get 29 over 8. Perfect. Okay, what about this one, number 4, 20 over 3. Eric? 6 and 2/3. Okay, so 3 goes into 26 times. 3 times 6 is 18. So when you subtract it, you get a remainder of 2. Okay, so that's why you have the 6 and then 2/3. Okay, let's do 2 more. I think you guys get a hang of it. All right, just to make sure. Claire. 15 over 2. Good. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 1, you get the 15. And then Sophia.
2 and 3 over 10.
2 and 3 over 10. All right, so 10 goes into 23 2 times. And when you subtract it, you have a remainder of 3. So that's why you have the 2 and then 3/10. Just want to give you a random one. What if negative 8 and 1/4? Okay, negative 8 and 1/4. Try this one. Okay, Darshana? Negative 33 over 4. Who got negative 31 over 4? Okay, so is it negative 31 or 33? Who says 31? Who says 33? Okay, when there's a negative, you don't multiply and then add with the negative. You cover up that negative because remember yesterday when we said that negative belongs to the whole number, not just the 8. So that negative, treat it as if it's not there. So then 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 1, 33. So it's actually negative 33 over 4. Okay, be very careful with this. This is a common mistake people do. Okay, because if you do 8 times negative 4 times negative 8, you get negative 32 plus 1, you get negative 31. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay, so I'm gonna get you guys to try I'll put it on the board. I'm going to do it on the board. Okay, so page 20, 7a right here. Again, I have two fractions but different denominators. So I want to change it so that they have the same denominator. So over 4 over 4. 1/2 is the same as what over 4? Yeah, 2 over 4. Right? Just like what Hana did right there with the over 15. It's the same idea. So 2 times 2 gives you the 4. So 1 times 2 gives you the 2. Right? And so now we can add up the numerator, and you get 3 over 4. One common mistake that people do, they write 3 over 8. All right. Do not add the denominators. Just like when we convert improper fractions and mixed numbers, remember, denominator always stays the same. Your pizza is in 8 slices, so keep it 8 slices, or keep it 4 slices. Okay. So when you add or subtract, you need a common denominator, and then the denominator stays the same. Let's try this one right here. Same idea, but with the subtraction. Okay. This one is a little trickier because with the negative signs. Okay, so somebody who hasn't said much today. Eric, you haven't said much? Okay, sure. Okay, so Eric, between 7 and 3, 21 is your lowest common denominator. So we'll say 21 and then 21. This is what I always like to do to set up my, I like to set up my fractions this way. Okay. So I know that in between the 21 is my lowest common denominator, so I write that first. And then now I figure out what the number on top is. 7 times 3 gives you 21. So 2 times 3 gives you 6. Okay. 3 times 7 gives you 21. And so 1 times 7 gives you 7. Okay. Notice I didn't do anything with the signs yet. I just kept it in because my first step was just dealing with the lowest common denominator. Okay, so now here, what's my denominator? Nice and loud? 21, right? Because it doesn't change. And what's my numerator? Derek? 13. That's right. We get 6 minus negative 7. Two negatives make a positive. So 6 plus 7 gives you the 13. Okay, and done. Okay. So, da, 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 da. Let me just write down 2 notes. Okay, when you add or subtract fractions, okay, you need lowest common denominator, and then the denominator stays the same. Same. Okay. So when you add or subtract fractions, you need a lowest common denominator, and then the denominator stays the same. Okay. Da, da, da. And that's because a lot of people make this silly mistake. Okay. People love my class because I always point out the mistakes that people do on tests. Even though like you do all these, you know how to do it on in the homework, but then when it comes to tests, some people will forget about these easy stuff. Okay. Okay, so let's try. Okay, who wants a medium level one or a harder level one? Okay, medium level. Hard question. Oh, I like it. I like the challenge that you guys have. Okay, let's try. Let's try Jaden. 17J. I'll do it on a separate piece of paper. You might need a separate piece of paper as well because you don't have enough room. I have scrap paper up here if you need. We can try this one. Yes, you can sit on the teacher's chair. You're the teacher for this question.
Start it with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, show us what did you do?
So first, what I did was I just rewrote the question because I know that two negatives equal positive.
Okay,
So
sure.
I switched that at the beginning. So
Sure.
6 plus,
Very good. I like this first step.
and then I gonna make it into improper fractions.
I like that idea.
So I just cover the minus. So 3 times 6 is 18. Plus
18 plus 5.
plus 5 is 23.
Good.
23 on 6 would be minus 23 on 6.
Yep.
And then plus 4 times 8 is 32 plus 3, 35.
Good.
35, 8. Then I put it into the same denominator.
Lowest common denominator
So-
because we're adding and subtracting.
Added times 8. Times 6. And then
So then you get a denominator of 48.
let me
Nice.
just do this.
Sure.
Minus 20.
Right. Okay. A lot of people forget that minus sign. Suddenly it disappears. So nice.
And if you add that, that's
So now that both of them are over 48, you can just add and subtract the top. Denominator stays the same. If you just left your answer as 26 over 48, it's a good answer, but it's not the best answer because you always have to reduce to the lowest term. And so Vincent divided both by 2 and to get the 13 over 24. How many of you got this? Awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Vincent. Okay. So we just learned about adding and subtracting fractions. Page 25 is multiplying and dividing fractions. So I'm just going to add a title onto page 25. Okay, so page 25, multiplying, dividing fractions. This part of the lesson, I don't expect it to take long because it is, if you understand adding and subtracting, multiplying, dividing is easier. Okay, so right here, I want to multiply 3/4 with 3. So this is number 4f. Right? I can, I want to change this integer into a fraction. How can I rewrite 3 as a fraction? Darshana? 3 over 1. So any whole number, you can always write a 1 over it, under it. Okay. Reason for that is now you have a fraction times another fraction. You just simply multiply across. So you just multiply across. So 3 times 3, you get 9. And then 4 times 1, 4. And that's it. Okay. Okay, I'll do this one. So it's very similar. 9f. 9f, I'm doing a fraction, divide another fraction. Right? So when I do, how do I divide fractions? Well, we just learned how to multiply. So negative 5 over 6. Instead of dividing, we're gonna times. What are we timesing? We're timesing the reciprocal, the flip. So instead of 4 over 3, what's the flip? Vincent? 3 over 4. All right. And you can think of KFC. I mean KCF. Keep, change, and flip. Keep the first fraction, change the sign, flip the second fraction. Right? It will make you hungry. And then now we have the fraction times another fraction. Do we need lowest common denominator? No, we simply multiply across. So negative 15 over 24. Okay. Let's try one more. 12F. Question? All good? Okay, 12F. Hey, I'm dividing, so I need to do KFC. KCF. Okay, so I'm going to keep my first fraction, 8 over 9. I'm going to change the sign. Instead of divide, I'm going to do times. Right? And then flip. What's the flip of negative 4? Eric? Negative 1 over 4. Just like what we were saying a minute ago, the 4, I can always put a 1 over. So negative 4 over 1, when I flip it, that's why it became negative 1 over 4. Again, does it matter where I put that negative? No, I could have did 1 over negative 4. It doesn't matter as long as one negative only. And then now I can just multiply across. So negative 8 over 36. Is this a good final answer? Oh, why not? Yeah. Simplify. I can, they're both even numbers, so I know for sure I can divide it by 2. I can actually go more. I can divide it by 4. So what does this reduce down to? Negative 2 over 9. That's a 9. Okay. So let me just write a little side note again. Okay, so when you multiply or divide fractions, okay, you don't need lowest common denominator. Okay, does the denominator changes? Okay, who says yes? Whenever I multiply, denominator changes every single time. Sometimes, right? So, because if like the denominator of the other fraction is 1, then it stays the same, right? So, denominator may change. Okay, so I've seen so many people, for example, like right here, they think about lowest common denominator, and then they put this over 24, and then this over 24, and then they make the mistake. Okay, so when you multiply or divide, that's why it's easier, because you don't need lowest common denominator. You just simply multiply across. Okay, so that's it. See, I told you, multiplying and dividing only takes 5 minutes once you understand adding, subtracting. This is actually easier. I'm only gonna assign a couple of questions. So the adding, subtracting, the odd questions, and then for multiplying and dividing, I want you guys to try 15, 16, 17, 18, and 22. Okay, so I'll write it out. So for the adding and subtracting, page 20 to 22 odd questions, and then multiply, divide, page 26, number 15, 16, 17, 18, and 22. 22, you might have some trouble with 22, but I want to challenge you guys. I think you guys are a smart group. I want to see if you guys can do 22. All right. If you get stuck on it, it's okay. We'll take up some of these on Monday. Okay. So you still have actually a good 25 minutes to complete these ones. So if you are very focused, you might be able to finish all of this in class and have no homework for the whole weekend. All right. But if you're not focused and you start to daydream, then you'll have homework. Okay. Again, no race. Everybody works at a different pace. So just try your best with these homework questions.